Hello, everyone, and welcome to Camp Calvary. Today we have a lot of people with me to help out with the story because it's a big story. I am Miss Sue, and this is
Ruth, Lindsay, Ava, Lily, Anna, Everett.
And we're going to start out with this first song called
Praise Him.
One reason we can praise God is because God is so powerful. Hey, that's our Bible point today. So every time you hear me say God is powerful, you're going to strike a superhero pose and say,
Fear not!
Our Bible memory buddy is Yeti. He's a Himalayan brown bear. Let's find out how much we know about Himalayan brown bears. I'm going to give you 2 fun things that Himalayan brown bears might eat. You decide which one is fact and which one is not. Himalayan brown bears enjoy eating tree roots. If you think they're a tree root, go eat by the tree root, or small rocks. Which one do you think, group? Oh, we have a split decision here. Let's get our drum roll out. Himalayan brown bears actually enjoy eating roots.
Woohoo! Let's find out more about Yeti.
Hey there, I'm Yeti, a Himalayan brown bear. I live high up in the Himalayan mountains. Well, just take one look at me and you'll see something important. I'm strong. God made me with strong muscles to tear up logs and dig up roots, because that's where I get a lot of my food. You probably don't have to tear up logs or dig up roots to find your food. Your dinner probably comes from the grocery store. But me? I have to forage for my food. That means I have to dig around to find it. And that's why I'm so glad God gave me these strong muscles to help me. Do you have strong muscles too? Let's see them. Whoa! Nice! Now back to food. I love food. I eat a lot of bugs, roots, grass, fruit, and berries. Berries. When I use my strong muscles to tear up a log, there's usually some delicious, juicy bugs inside. Want one? Delicious. Oh, and the roots I dig up make a tasty treat too. God gave me strong muscles to dig up roots, but I'm not the strongest or most powerful. God is. God doesn't use big bear muscles to tear logs, but God sure does show power. Like in the Bible, when God showed his power through a man named Elijah. Some other people thought that Baal, a fake god, was powerful, so they had a little contest. Baal's people versus Elijah, God's prophet. And it's no surprise that God won. That's because God is powerful. So fear not. You can be strong in his power. In the Bible book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10, it says, a final word. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Me, I'm strong and muscular, able to tear through any log. But that's not the kind of strength God gives you. God gives you the strength to be confident and to do hard things, even when you're a little nervous. And God will give you strength to be bold as you tell other people about your friendship with Jesus. God will give you the strength you need to stand strong and trust God no matter what. Now, if you'll excuse me, I was in the middle of tearing a log to shreds. And hey, don't forget, God is powerful, so fear not.
The Bible is God's true love story. It's made of a bunch of little books. Our Bible memory verse comes from Ephesians 6, verse 10. I'll say a line and then you repeat after me. A final word.
A final word.
Be strong in the Lord.
Be strong in the Lord.
And in his mighty power.
And in his mighty power.
Instead of just listening to the story, you'll play an important role. Now, as I've mentioned, this Bible story is a contest between two groups of people. So let's imagine who those two groups are. They're going to split up. This group over here, raise your hand. You are the prophets of Baal. This group over here, raise your hands. You're going to be the prophets of Elijah. Great. Now you know who you are. Let's find out where you are. Ahab, the king of Israel, asked all to gather near the mountain. Mount Carmel, to be exact. King Ahab didn't follow God so well, so he was okay with worshiping fake gods like Baal. Raise your hand, Baals. Yes. But Elijah said this right out of the Bible.
Elijah went before the people and said, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal is God, follow him."
Baal was a fake god, and the people of Israel were worshiping him and other fake gods. Elijah wanted to show them that God is powerful.
Fear not!
The other gods had no power, and God's people shouldn't worship them. So here's how the contest went. First, both groups had to build an altar. You're going to take off your shoes and build an altar right in front of you. Pile them up. There we go. You at home, you could build an altar with shoes too.
Here we go.
We need your shoes.
How are these supposed to work? We have too tall of shoes. Like shoes, they don't go in the bottom. No, what? You gotta.
Now, in the Bible, they took stacks of stones and wood and anything that burned. But you have shoes today. Now, normally, if you start something to burn, you start a fire by yourself. But this was a contest as to whose God was powerful enough to start the fire without any human help. So neither team could start a fire. Their God had to do it. The prophets of Baal went first. Let's see what they tried to get Baal to set on fire. So Baal went first. Let's see what they did to try to get Baal to send fire.
Then they called on the name of Baal from morning till noon. "Oh, Baal, answer us," they shouted. But there was no response. No one answered, and they danced around the altar they had made.
Okay, Baal, let's see you dance around the altar of Baal. After a while, Elijah started making fun of Baal. Let's read what he says.
At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. "Shout louder," he said. "Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened."
And Elijah teased the prophets of Baal. Baal was powerless, and God is powerful.
Fear not!
Baal doesn't seem to have any power at all. Let's find out what Elijah does. It's his turn. Elijah was confident, super confident, for he knew the fact that God is powerful.
Fear not!
So here's what he did. He took 4 cups of water that God told him and poured it over the wood and the stones. Next thing, he said a prayer. He asked God to send down fire. He raised his arms and said, "God, help us." Wow, Elijah was confident that God would be able to do what Baal couldn't. As soon as Elijah was done praying, flashes of fire from heaven burned up the whole altar, including the wet wood, even the stones. This contest shows that God is powerful.
Fear not!
Our story isn't quite done yet. Remember how I said it hadn't rained in years? Well, it was a drought, and God helped that situation too by sending a cloud, a little tiny cloud that got bigger and bigger, and soon it was a huge storm. The drought had ended. Proving the point that God is powerful.
Fear not!
Yeti, our Bible memory buddy, will help you remember that God is powerful.
Fear not!
You'll have to remember this week that God is powerful.
Fear not!
Since Jesus is God's only son, Jesus is powerful too. Jesus showed God's ultimate power when he beat the power of sin and death once and for all. Jesus died on the cross, then powerfully came back to life again. Now we are free to live as friends with God because of Jesus. I want to thank my helpers this week. Give yourself a round of applause. Pat yourself on the back. If you'd like to come and join us and help us with our Bible story, come next Sunday. If not, we hope you enjoy watching it from home. And thanks again, everyone. And just remember that God is powerful.
Fear not!